Hi, everyone, and welcome to Jamie's Spotlight. Um, we're doing cards with Jamie, and we're glad to have Jamie and Leonard with us tonight. Um, Jamie's been an admin for Melody Lane Inspired for a very long time, and she's going to come in here and do a card for us. If we have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand and ask questions, and Jamie will hopefully answer it for us. But now I'm going to spotlight Jamie so she's big on the screen. And go ahead. Hi, Ayana.
Hello. Hi, Ariana.
So, Jamie, while I'm doing that, you can go ahead and start talking.
Okay, so this envelope does not go with this card, just so y'all know. When I was testing another one yesterday, I accidentally assembled all of my envelopes without thinking that I needed to save one for tonight. So I cut a green one for a different project since they all go together the same. Not that you guys need instructions for envelopes. They're pretty simple. You just fold your two sides in and then your top and your bottom and tape up your edges. This envelope is in the file with the card. And the card does fit. As long as you guys don't add a whole bunch of extra layers to it, it shouldn't be a problem. And I would advise not using a wide tape roller on that because that'll happen. There you go. Envelope done. The card itself is actually pretty easy. These pieces are your top and your bottom for the frame of the card. And you'll notice that you can barely see my score lines. Well, maybe you can't see them at all. I did this on the Venture with a scoring stylus. And in spite of the fact that you can barely see them, it folds beautifully. Just like that. Every fold on every piece for this is going to be a mountain fold. So you've got 4 of these, and then you've got 2 for the pillars. And I found it was easier to put this part together first. So you're going to take the short tab and glue it. You could tape it too, but I think the glue holds up better. And then you're going to glue it to the next one, right up to that score line. And don't make the mistake I made on my first one. After you do that, fold it the rest of the way over and make sure that it's completely straight so that the front piece and the back one aren't like tilted. And then you glue the other one to your last edge. And then do the same thing. Flatten it again to make sure that it's lying straight with the front and the back pieces together. And then this is one of your base pieces. And then do the same thing with the next one. I tried when I made the first test one to do all of the decorative pieces at the end. I don't suggest that because you really need to push on them. And if you try to do them at the end, you're going to be crushing the card trying to get your little fancy pieces together.
Hi, Mateo.
Okay, so the pieces that go on these are going to be these long, skinny ones. And they just you just do one on each side. Wait, wrong piece. Ignore me. The wider long pieces. You should have four long ones and four short ones for this part. And make sure if you're using a pattern paper that has a directional pattern on it that you want it to go a certain way, make sure you're pointed that way because one of these sits at the top and then one sits at the bottom like that. And then you should have four short wide pieces. Those will go over here on the two ends. Okay, so now you've got the top and the bottom pieces done. The next part is your two columns. And it's the same thing. These are going to be all mountain folds. Now on these, I found you're going to have three of these long, skinny border or decorative pieces on there, and then two short ones. It's easier if you do the three long ones before you glue the pillar together. And they will go on So you have one tab that's short and then the rest are a little bit wider. You're going to do your 3 long pieces on your 3 first wide folds. And then leave the short one until after you've put the framework of the card together.
Jamie, a couple of people are loving your paper pattern that you're using.
Oh, thanks. It is from Cricut. It's from one of the Anna Griffin paper packs that they used to offer. I clearly was in love with it because I bought a ton of it. I still use it for, gosh, almost everything. And actually, that polka dot one that was in the that I did as an example, that was also from Anna Griffin. It's a different paper pack, I think, but it was also from Cricut and Anna Griffin. Okay, so there's one. Okay, now that you've got the 3 long ones on there, it's time to glue the pillars. The short tab will glue to the other side. And I did the same thing with this one. I found it's easier if you lay it down flat and then just fold it over. And then I used my weighted tape dispenser to hold it down. I also suggest don't use cardstock that's anything less than 80 pounds. It's pretty flimsy at 80, so it would be a lot worse if you use thinner paper. Okay, well, those 2 are sitting. We can put together the 2 sentiment pieces. Well, maybe if I can get them out of the box. And you could totally use tape runner on these. I just have a habit of using glue because I know it won't come apart in the mail.
Sharon. Okay. Okay, that's great. I didn't even pick that up. I didn't realize that it was not my credit card.
Judy, do you want to mute?
Because I got 2 confirmations.
Judy, do you want to mute?
Uh-huh. Okay.
Now we can just set those aside until the end. And these should be dry now. Okay, this is where I used the grid on my table. these pieces should be 2 inches wide from front to back. And then these are a 1/2 inch wide. I put this seam up against the side. So you're going to glue that as close to the center as you can get it. I kind of eyeballed mine, but you could probably mark it. You just want to make sure that it's as close to the middle as you can get and flat to the bottom so that you don't have a gap underneath. And you're going to do the same thing with the other side. And you kind of want this seam to be pointed in the same direction so it'll fold flat easier. So like on this one, I need to flip it so that the seam is at the back like it is on this side. It'll fold flat anyway, but it will offer more resistance if those aren't going the same direction. Now you have your basic frame. And then you're just going to flip it over and do the bottom the exact same way. Now on this one, I glued both sides. I'm not sure if I could get my glue bottle in there if I attached one and then tried to go back and do the other one.
Can you tell us what kind of glue you're using?
Right at the moment, that is Cosmic Shimmer glue. It's a lot like the Nuvo glue, the Nuvo Deluxe glue. Nope, it's not the middle. Then I just picked it up and stuck my fingers in the tube to make sure I got good pressure on it. Now you basically have the whole card, and it should, this is my back, it should lay down flat. Okay, now, okay, these pieces, these last 2 of your decorative pieces, just go on this outside edge. They're easier to put on after the cards together, so you make sure you kind of get them centered. Well, I won't get mine centered, but I did all the right things so that they could be centered. Okay. All right, now for your sentiment pieces, this is where you have choices. You could attach them to the front, or you could attach them like inside the back like that. You know, do one back here and then put the other one behind it, you know, like that, but straight, obviously. But what I did with mine is I put them up here on the column. It helped give the card more stability. So all you want to do is just get a little bit of glue on these 2 corners. And then gently slip it inside. I just kind of gently drop it. And then I stand the card up and let it touch the table. That way I know it's actually lined up with the top and the bottom. And then push. Okay, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing for the back. Okay, there you go. And then you can kind of fold it to make sure it lays flat. And then it should fit in your envelope. Just like that. That was it.
Amazing, Jamie. Does anybody have any questions? Jamie, what kind of pen did you use to write with on the?
Oh, that was a glitter gel pen. Not Cricut's. I wanted one that had a super fine tip on it because that writing was so fine. I found with an adapter. See, that was the purple one.
And we have hand raised. Your hand is
It is
raised.
the Tool brand pens.
Oh, cool. Your hand is raised, Jamie, and we also have another hand raised, Janice.
Did I bump the button?
Okay, I made it. I put one piece on the wrong side.
I totally did that the first time.
No, well, no.
Also, the first time I made it when I was putting my base and my two top pieces together, or top piece together, I didn't think to flatten them and make sure they were straight. So when I put my card together, it was kind of.
Yeah, I screwed up on the first step, Jamie. So that I'm sitting there. I caught up though. Oh, what I did is I put the short tabs together instead of the short tab and the long tab at the beginning, and I'm looking at your rectangle, and I got like this like triangle thing.
And you're like, wait a minute, why do I have this weird triangle?
Yeah, so I'm like, catch up. Then I caught up. And then yeah, that's cool. I love that paper.
I know, right? There's
Glitter
there's a
pen.
yellow one that's almost identical to this with the same pattern on it.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you,
damask
Sue.
pattern. That's so pretty.
So the
Oh,
whole
so
base of this card is
same way.
basic shapes and would be totally free, access or not. The only two things that would have a charge are the font for the back, which is Alyssa's script. And then this front image was an editable image from Access. So the name, all you got to do is double click and you can change the name to whatever you want.
Janice has her hand raised, Jamie.
Yeah, I did the same thing that Holly did. I glued the wrong tabs to the thing. I ended up with a triangle. It's like what in the world? And then so I took it apart. But Jamie, did you cut double of the sides? Because I noticed the ends, like I only cut like one piece to go. I didn't, and yours looked like you had the same design on the inside. So should I have cut that
It's
piece
because
twice?
the paper is double-sided.
Oh, okay. All right.
I used the exact same paper for the decoration as I did for the card. It's just one was upside down.
I got you.
So on
Okay.
the inside, you're seeing the same pattern that you saw on the outside.
Okay. All right. I didn't use
It's one of the things I
double-sided
love
paper,
about the
but
Anna Griffith paper.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So mine's just not going to be as pretty as yours.
Mine's well, these pieces are double-sided, but you can't tell because it's like Alice in Wonderland paper. It was Cricut paper, but it was Alice in Wonderland. But the one side is like the Queen of Hearts, but that's not what you see. The other side was just small, like checkered pattern. Because I was trying to find something with a small pattern. I cut a butterfly paper, but the print was just too big. So
Yeah, see, I
Okay.
had that.
I
So
did this one.
I have another one that is also Anna Griffin paper. And this one, I had a feeling that I was going to have that same problem because as you can see, this pattern is actually kind of big.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was looking at it, so we'll just kind of pretend for a second. Let me.
Janice, do you want to lower your
Yeah,
hand?
that's the wrong
Oh, I'm
page.
sorry. Yes.
Oh, that's really pretty though.
And-
Yeah, it's got a
But
really
see, if
pretty
you look
color
at
in
it, even though that pattern is big, it still actually looks okay.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
And Louise has her hand raised.
I want to thank Jamie for this design. It's super fun. And I made mine. I don't know if I can find my camera. Out of acetate.
Oh, cool.
Gosh,
Wow.
That's awesome.
that's
This is
actually
like-
brilliant.
I actually put it together earlier just to make sure I didn't know what I was
Oh.
doing before I converted it. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was
thank you,
really glad
Jamie.
that I put mine together before I did it on video too, because yeah, I made the same mistake that Holly did. And then on my second try, I didn't make sure that my top and bottom pieces were straight when I was gluing together. So I ended up with a wonky card. So yeah, I'm really glad I did mine early too.
It's always good. Yeah, here's the finish one with mine with the Alice in Wonderland paper, but it's just checkerboard.
Oh my God, I love that paper.
I love this image too. It's funny because like I have several of these bookmarked. I just love the fine line and the fine like flowers and everything. It's very into.
Yeah, I think that might have only been like the third or fourth of those editable images that I actually used. It just kind of fit that design on that card so well.
It did.
Okay, Gloria here is also had her hand
Yeah.
raised.
Jamie, I was just wondering with that pen you used, did you use an adapter or did that work? with
I
the-
did.
I probably have them.
There is an adapter set on Amazon that has, I think it's 16 different adapters in it.
Mhm.
This one, I forgot what it was actually for. It's labeled as BPM. But with this tool pen, if you put this adapter right to the top of that silver ring, it fits perfect. It
Right.
works in the maker machines, it works in the venture machine, and it will actually work in the Joy Extra without an adapter, but you got to play with the height to make sure that you've got it at just the right depth so it actually writes.
All right.
But these pens, I love these. They dry super fast. These are not for embossing because
What
they
was the
actually
name-
dry.
What was the name of that pen again, Jamie?
The brand is Tool. It's T and a U and an L, and there's a line over the U.
No, okay, I'll have to write that down.
You can get them on Amazon. They come in, I don't know, there's probably about 30 of them all together.
Uh-huh.
They've got some that are just plain. I think this one's a plain green. Oh, no, I lied. That's a metallic green. There's a metallic range, and then there's also just the plain regular gel ink. But I love these because they write without fail every time. I've had these for probably 3 years now,
Mhm.
and they still write on the first try. I don't even have to scribble with them first.
Are they called, Jamie? Are they called? Let's see, tool. What's the thickness on those? Do you know? Are they the point? They have 0.4?
This one,
Yeah,
this
says
green
point-
one is medium. Let me grab the purple that I actually used.
Okay. Yeah, because they have ultra-fine 0.4. Yeah, because I love that it's so fine and you can write with
I think this is the one I used. Okay, I actually used this one right here, and this one is marked as a medium, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
But I think their medium is like a 0.7, and I think Cricut's is a 1.0.
Well,
Like if you just scribble on the paper, it looks just as thick as Cricut's. But when you're actually writing with the machine, it's not that thick.
Is this the brand that you were using, Jamie? The
Yep.
adapters? Yeah. So it's the
So it
green
would be
one.
the adapter
cool.
that's marked
Yeah.
BPM.
Yeah, the green one that looks like yours. I have one set that I have sitting in my maker right now, but I kept the spare set. So that must be the green one then. The green one?
It might be. I noticed that on several of those kits from the clever people,
Yeah.
they don't always use the same colors for the same adapters, but they are all
okay.
marked.
All right.
So I don't want to tell you it's the green one and then find out that was the Sharpie one.
Which one did it say that it was though? You don't recall? Did it say which?
BPM.
BPM. BPM. All right, John. All right. Thank you.
Does anybody else
Yeah,
have
it
any
doesn't,
questions?
it doesn't sit in that adapter super snug, but it does snug up in the machine really well.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions?
Clarity.
Well,
Oh, it's
Jamie,
fun to
we
build.
really thank you for coming in and showing us that card. It's a wonderful card, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.
Yeah, it was fun to make too. I felt like I was like building something like Lincoln Logs or something
yeah.
with pillars and stuff. I love that.
Like you were, you had to build pillars.
Yeah,
you,
I was like, ooh, this is
Thank
fun.
you.